Hey YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make some green spaghetti, aka pasta with poblano peppers. Super creamy, super delicious. I'm also going to show you guys how to make a really easy chicken cutlet. Stick around guys, you can't miss this one. Alright, for the ingredients, we're going to need poblanos, cilantro, serranos, cream cheese, mascarpone, heavy cream, and we're also going to need some garlic confit. This is really going to amplify the flavor of our sauce. And then we're going to be seasoning with Knorr chicken bouillon powder. As you can see, we love this stuff over here. We use it in almost everything. For the pasta, I recommend a spaghetti or a linguine or a fettuccine, a long strand pasta. Obviously, pasta is pasta. You could probably use both, but I recommend something like this. So I got a pound of spaghetti. I got some butter, just to make sure our spaghetti doesn't clump together when we cook it. All right, let's get to it. All right, to get our garlic confit going, we have to take the little stem off the garlic. So really, I'm just gonna be right here and chop off stem. This stuff gets kind of bitter, and so if you guys could just take it off, it's a labor of love. It'll be worth it in the end. But if you don't mind a little bit bitterness, just leave it on. It's not a big deal. All right, we're just gonna need a bunch of garlic. We're gonna need a little bit of thyme, and we're gonna need some oil. All right, now that I'm done cleaning all my garlic cloves, I'm gonna get a pot and I'm gonna put all my garlic in, and then I'm gonna cover with oil. Missed one. Thank you. Cover with oil. Okay. Okay, we're gonna slow poach these guys. Okay, so we're gonna do this on the stove top, very low heat. We do not want to fry the garlic. We want to poach them. So this is gonna take between 30 minutes and an hour. Very important to keep your heat very low. If you have a thermometer, I will go between 190 to 210. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get sweetness out of this garlic. We're trying to mellow it out, and we're trying to get rid of that raw bite that garlic has. This is really gonna amplify our sauce. It's gonna take it to the next level instead of just using straight raw garlic. All right, and then once the oil warms up, I'm gonna throw some fresh herbs in the oil. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my burner on very low. And then once the oil starts getting hot, I'll throw my fresh thyme in there, and then I'll come back like in an hour, check on it. We do not want to make sure this does not fry. We're not frying garlic again, we're poaching it. All right guys, I have very gentle bubbling going around here on my garlic. This is what you want. You can see, I'm just gonna give them a quick stir. These have only been on for about 15 minutes, so they still got a long way to go. Once they're fork tender, we know they're done. If you see their temperature starting to get too high, just lower it. If you can keep it on as low as your burner can go before it goes out, that's most recommended. All right, family, my garlic has been going. It's been an hour, right? So I don't, like I said, we don't get a lot of color on the garlic, right? How do you know it's done? You grab a fork, and it's like mashed potato. That's butter right there. Literally, like you could slap that on some toast with some sea salt, and it's gonna be really good. Really mellow, really sweet, really great. And that's how we know our garlic confit is done. I'm gonna start going on my peppers now. We're literally just gonna char them. We're gonna put them right on the fire, right? So let's turn this on, and you can just literally just throw right on the fire like that, and just turn them around. But if you guys have a grate, this stuff's gonna make it way easier. Literally just put all your peppers on there. And we're trying to blister the skin. Once the skin is all blistered, we're gonna throw them into a bowl, and then we're gonna cover them and let them sweat out. All right, once we get this all around the pepper, we're gonna throw it into a bowl. And we can get our serranos in there as well. Remember, you guys control how spicy you guys want it. I always cook a couple extra, and I always blend what I think I need. And if I think it's not spicy enough, I add a couple more peppers. But you always wanna like cover your bases, right? If you want it more spicy, add more. If you don't think you need it, because sometimes, you know, jalapenos or serranos, they're very inconsistent. You guys don't know what kind of heat level you're getting unless you taste them beforehand. So if you guys want to taste a serrano pepper raw, go for it. But I'd rather just take my chances with frying an extra one. Okay, this is what you want from your serranos. We're gonna peel off all this stuff, so don't worry about thinking it's burnt. You guys are gonna eat something burnt. It's not what we're doing here. We're literally just charring the skin because we're gonna peel it right off. Once I got all my peppers nice and charred, I'm gonna cover them with plastic, and then we're gonna let them sweat out in probably about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and peel them. All right, my chilies have been steaming for about 20 minutes, and now this is probably the messiest part of the ordeal. We have to clean them. So I just usually grab a little knife and I run it around the core of the pepper and just score it down, right? So now we have this little thing out the way. You guys could leave the seeds or take the seeds out, up to you. And we're just literally gonna scrape off all the burnt stuff. Flip around, scrape off all the burnt stuff. If a little's on there, it's not a big deal. Same thing for the Serranos. Just take all the black stuff off. Up to you if you want to leave the seeds in. It'll be spicier, but if you take the seeds out of, you're gonna need more work, right? A little bit messier. I'm gonna leave the seeds on because I like my spaghetti really spicy, but that's basically it. All right, I'm gonna be serving my green spaghetti with some chicken cutlets. So I'm gonna show you how I make it. We're just gonna butterfly the breast, and then we're gonna pound it out. We wanna make these as evenly thin as we possibly can because we want these to fry evenly. Like I always say, fry evenly. A good little tip I can give you guys on buying chicken breasts: avoid those giant, like steroid chicken breasts that you see, where literally like it'll be like these two will be like one piece. Like it's not gonna be good, guys. I promise. The chicken's gonna be really tough, and honestly, I don't think that's normal. Try to go for these little smaller breasts. They might be a little bit more expensive, but they're well worth it. To pound my chicken breast, I have some parchment paper, and I'm gonna use a rolling pin because I don't have a hammer or a meat mallet, I guess you could say. If you don't have parchment paper, just use plastic wrap. But I think this is a little easier to do. Do one at a time, right? Put a piece of parchment on top, and then just let your stress out. And I'm doing like even gentle taps, right? I'm not hammering on because the chicken breast is gonna fall apart. We're not that angry. And once I got my chicken breast nice and pounded out, you see, this is beautiful. Really, really thin. This is gonna fry up in like 4 minutes probably. So we want all these the same size, and then we're gonna bread them and fry them. The next step after we get all these nice and evenly flattened out, we gotta season them. Today, I'm only gonna go with salt and pepper. No need to be too fancy. We always wanna season our chicken before we bread it because we do not want bland food. And season high, and then all the salt will sort of just even itself out. Okay, don't be scared of the salt. And then just some pepper. Both sides, guys, both sides. We're gonna do this side, we're gonna flip them, we're gonna do another side. Okay? And also, as you can see, I kind of went a little too hard on this one. This is what happens when you go a little too hard with the hammer or with the rolling pin. So probably not gonna no more. So be gentle with your chicken. All right, flip and season. Okay, we're gonna 3-stage breaded chicken. So we always want a dry hand and a wet hand. So we're gonna go into some flour and then some eggs, flour. Shake off any flour that's on there as much as you can. Going with your eggs. I like to give it a little quick stir. Wet hand, come in. Okay. Drain off any excess egg. And we're gonna go into our panko. Okay. Again, dry hand, shake, coat, flip, and press. And we should get something like that. We're gonna do that for all the chicken. Okay, now we're gonna get ready to, basically we're gonna shallow fry our cutlets, okay? So, I have my oil here. If you have a thermometer, the oil should read 325 to 350, and just fry until golden brown. About 4 minutes, 2 minutes each side. And then we're gonna put them onto the side, and we're just gonna sprinkle a little salt on them. You guys wanna make sure your oil is hot, because if it's not hot, and it's just gonna absorb too much oil, the chicken is. Instead of having crispy, you're gonna have like soggy bread. All right, guys, that is done. Just some salt, and we're done. Time to make our sauce. So I'm gonna put all my poblanos in here, and then I'm gonna add only 3 serranos, and I blackened 2 more just in case I wanted it to be a little spicier. but I'm just gonna reserve that until the end in case it needs it. I'm gonna go in with my garlic confit. This is half cup. All the measurements will be in the description, guys, okay? I'm gonna go in with my heavy cream, my mascarpone, my cream cheese, and my bouillon. I'm only gonna add half the cilantro now, and then we're gonna pulse in the rest later so it has little green specks in it so it makes the sauce look really nice. Okay, now that all my ingredients are blended really good, I'm just gonna give it a taste just to make sure that I want it to be spicier or not. So my serranos were really kind of mild, so I'm gonna add in the rest of the 2 serranos. Okay, and then I'm gonna just pulse the last of the cilantro in just so we get some really nice color on this sauce and make everything look really lively and vibrant. And then finally, we always have to taste for seasoning at the end. To me, that's spot on. It's really good. All right, my sauce is all done. As you see, there's little green specks in there. That's because I did not blend the cilantro all the way through. This is exactly what I wanted. And if you guys want to just stop here and then just leave this for another day, this is a great option to do. You guys could refrigerate the sauce, and whenever you guys want, just boil some pasta and throw some sauce on top. It's that simple. You guys have dinner for the next 2 or 3 days. But since I'm hungry today, I'm gonna make my pasta and I'm gonna put it together. All right, guys, I don't think I have to show you guys how to make pasta, but here is my water. I just added some salt to it. I'm gonna wait till it boils, and then I'm gonna throw my pasta in there, and then just follow whatever the package on your pasta says. All right, guys, I just drained my pasta right here. I'm gonna add my butter in here, and I'm gonna just emulsify it into the sauce. The reason I'm doing this is so the noodles do not stick to each other. They don't clump, and you got individual noodles. I don't like pouring my sauce all in at once because then it kind of like dries the pasta out. So once all the butter has melted, you can just leave the pasta to the side. All right, we're basically done. So I like to do it like individual portions. So I'm gonna get some of my pasta. It's still warm because we butter it, so all the noodles are like individual noodles. You know, they didn't get all clumped up. I'm gonna get some of my sauce, as much or as little as you want, guys. Your house, your rules. Go in and just stir. So you want this super creamy pasta. This is what you guys want. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get some of my chicken cutlet. And we're done. Let's give it a taste. See how we did. The chicken's really juicy, crunchy, and just really well seasoned. So good. Pasta time. That's so good. It's so fire. Creamy, spicy, not overwhelmingly spicy, but a nice little kick to it. Earthy from the Poblanos. I mean, this is such a really good meal. Okay, guys, what do you guys think? How do you think we did today? This recipe is one of the most requested ones when I ever make food for parties. People always ask me if I could make green spaghetti for them. One time I even made it super spicy so people wouldn't ask me for it, and it ended up being a hit. People were like, "Whoa, that's the best pasta I've had," so it kind of backfired on me. If you guys don't want to make the garlic confit, you could use regular garlic. I would probably just use half the quantity because regular garlic is really strong. But like, it's those little things that in your food, like the garlic confit, you know, or like breading the chicken properly or seasoning it before. It's those little things that really elevate your food to the next level. You really want to take care of doing the little things right, okay? So if you do a lot of things right, at the end of the day, your product's gonna be really good. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys need any help, you guys are always in the comments. Peace.